Good morning, students. Welcome back to second year physics. So in the previous class, actually we finished about a time period of a magnetic needle or time period of a bar magnet which is suspended in the uniform magnetic field. There will be a time period is equal to T is equal to 2 pi into root over I by MBH. So this is the time period. Now let us, on this basis, there will be a one question in our material, page number 233, question number 1. Look at it. So the figure, the magnetic needle as a magnetic moment is given. Capital M is given, that is 6.7 into 10 power minus 2 ampere meter square is given. And the moment of inertia of the bar is given 7.5 into 10 power minus 6 kg meter square. It performs a 10 complete oscillations in 6.70. See, in a 6.7 in a time it completes a 10 oscillations. How many oscillations are finished? In a time of 6.7 seconds, that completes a 10 oscillations. What is the magnitude of magnetic field? Is asking BH. Question: the magnetic moment of a bar magnet is given, moment of inertia given, and that bar magnet which completes 10 oscillations in a time of 6.7. But we don't know the time, no? Now we need to find a time, because in a time period T is equal to 2 pi into root over I by MBH. Is asking BH. So first of all, take this formula and you do like this, I by MBH. So squaring on both sides you take, T square is equal to 4 pi square into I by MBH. Fine. So that M we need to find, cross multiply, sorry, B we need to find, BH is equal to I by 4, sorry to say it is 4 pi square I by M into T square. Of course we know I value, M we know, but we don't know time, no? Yes, time is nothing but how many oscillations are completed? 6.7 oscillations in a 10. That means here the time period is equal to, that makes it 6.7 in a time of 6.7, that completes it 10 oscillations. So 67 by 100 we can. Now we know T, now we know M, we know I. This all you substitute here, we'll get the BH is equal to 4 into pi square, that is we can say 3.14 whole square it is into I value will be, it is 7.5 into 10 power minus 6 by M is, so the M given as 6.7 into 10 power minus 2 T square, yes, into 67 by 100 whole square, yes. Now we need to do like this. First of all, 10 powers we should minimize, then BH is equal to 4 into this 3.94 whole square, no? Approximately we may get the 9.8 into 7.5 10 power minus 6 by 6.7 into 10 power minus 2, here 67 into 67 by 100, that you say into 100. This 100 into 100 10 power 4, no? This will come up, then you make first, it is 4 into 9.8 into 7.5 into 10 power minus 6 into 10 power 4, and this will come, no? Again 10 power 2 by 6.7 into 67 into 67. This 10 power 4, 10 power 6 is cancelled. Better you do like this, 6.1 point is cancelled. BH is equal to 4 into 98 into 7.5, that you write 75 by 67 into 67 into 67 into 10. Of course, if this you multiply and you divide, we may get the final answer. Let us see what will get the final answer. Let's multiply. The given is 4 into 98 into 75. So 29,400 it is. You write as 29,400 by 67 into 67, 67 into 67 into 67 into 10. Of course 0 is cancelled, right? Yeah. Again you do like this, 67 into 67 again into 67. It is approximately like this, 2940 by so 300 367 approximately 763, right? 763. Now you divide this, 2940 divided by 300, 673. See, approximately 0.000009. If you this, I mean to say, round off this, we may get 0.1 Tesla. 0.009, no? So we may get it is 0.1 Tesla or 0.01 Tesla, because 0.009, no? This will be odd number, no? Therefore, it is will be increases than 1 Tesla. This is the final answer. It is one question related to on the basis of time period. Only one question given in our material. So better you do this question, right? And here in this magnetism we have some important definitions. Side heading is you take as some important definitions. Important definitions. Sir, what are the important definitions? First important definition is, actually I'll tell you about first one that is intensity of magnetizing field. Side heading is intensity of magnetizing field, capital H. Intensity of magnetizing field, or we can also call force, capital H. Sir, what is the definition of intensity of magnetizing field? I'll tell you. Let us you take one bar. It's not in a bar magnet, it is in a bar. So that bar must be magnetic material. This material which is placed in the uniform magnetic field. Of course, this material is allows the magnetic lines of forces. That means here the substance which allows the magnetic lines of forces, that is we can call permeability, mu naught, or we can say mu. Or you remember this, mu naught or mu. Say the bar is, it is a magnetic material. This bar is placed in the uniform magnetic field. Therefore, the magnetic lines of forces which are passing through the bar. That means here, in a given bar, that all free electrons are, when the lines of forces are passing through the bar, therefore that all electrons are to be activated and which are to be arranged in the direction of a magnetic force. It is forcibly the substances becomes a magnetized. Forcibly, because all free electrons which are in the random motion, because of the force of magnetic force, or because of the magnetic force, the substance, in that substance the electrons are, it is to be arranged in the direction of a magnetic field. That means here this bar is forcibly magnetized. Forcibly magnetized because of the magnetic field induction. Because of the field induction in a field, the bar is placed, no? Therefore magnetizing force is defined as, it is a magnetic induction per unit permeability, or we can say B by mu naught. That is, we can say the substances which is forcibly it is magnetized. So that we can call magnetizing field, or it is the ratio of magnetic field induction to the permeability, or it is a free space, or you want to say, otherwise we can also say H is equal to B by mu also, no problem. It is nothing but we can call capital H. It is a forcibly the substance is magnetized. So that's what we can call it is like we can say, if it is mu, no, you know, mu is nothing but a mu naught into mu r. I think you know this. So capital H is equal to B by mu naught mu r we can. From here we can also say B is equal to H into mu naught, and from here also B is equal to mu into H. You remember these two formulas, because in the next classes these are required. Now let us, I want to say units. Sir, what will be the unit? See, of course, in case of a Capital H, now I am saying, see, in case of a CGS system, the unit is, we can say, Oersted. Oersted it is. In MKS or SI system, we can say ampere per meter. This is the very, very important. Therefore, there will be a 1 ampere per meter is equal to 4 pi into 10 power minus 3 Oersted it is. Clear? And the dimensional formula for a magnetizing force, because we should identify by using the dimensional formula or else by using the unit, because sometimes the problems they will give you like magnetic induction also they will give you, instead of giving magnetizing force they may give you magnetic induction, but we should identify by using the unit only. So that here it is, a dimensional formula will be A L inverse. This is about a capital H, it is intensity of magnetizing field. It is defined as the ratio of magnetic induction to permeability. So the substance which is placed in the uniform magnetic field, therefore in that electron domain is changes because of the influence of the magnetizing field or magnetic induction field. Thus, therefore the substance is allowing the field that we can call permeability. Okay, this is about what we can say related to we can say about a intensity of magnetizing field. Now I want to say about a intensity of magnetization. So I reading as intensity of magnetization. Intensity of magnetization. You take intensity of magnetization. Magnetization, that is capital I. Sir, what is intensity of magnetization? Of course, we know magnetizing force or magnetizing field is, we know when the substance is placed in the uniform magnetic field, the substance which allows the magnetic lines of force. Therefore, the substance becomes magnetized, no? So nothing but what happens, it is magnetized in the senses this bar becomes magnetic. That means the field or the magnetic forces, it is to be occurs throughout the given bar. That means here the magnetic moment also it is occurs, because the bar length is a 2L. Therefore, the magnetic moment occurs because of the field or the lines of forces are passing through the bar. No? Therefore, there it is to be this, for this bar magnetic moment also occurs for a given a unit volume of a bar. For a unit volume of a given a bar, the bar, suppose you take this bar, so when it is placed in the uniform magnetic field, therefore the field lines are passing through the line through this bar. Therefore this bar is completely, it is to be magnetized, forcibly it is magnetized, because the substance is allowing the lines of forces. Therefore this substance occurs a magnetic moment. That means magnetic moment occurs the given a field is capital M or given a bar is capital M. Therefore intensity is defined as it is a magnetic moment per unit volume, because throughout the volume of the given a bar it is the moment occurs. Magnetic moment occurs throughout the given a bar. So we know capital M is nothing but a small m into 2L, it is right. Volume is nothing but this A into area of cross section into 2L, because length of the bar you take as a 2L, because the bar becomes a magnetized, no, or it becomes a bar magnet. So now we know this, substitute here capital I is equal to small m into 2L by A into 2L. Of course this 2L is cancelled, small m is E by A. This is the pole strength per unit area. Also we can intensity of magnetization, we can also say it is the pole strength per unit area of cross section, or magnetic moment per unit volume. Also we can magnetic moment per unit volume, or the magnetic pole strength per unit area of a cross section. Sir, what will be the units? Of course the unit is, it is ampere per meter. You remember it is ampere per unit, it is, which are very, very important related to the intensity of magnetization is one, intensity of magnetizing force or intensity of magnetizing field, right? Now let us, I want to say another important statement is, that is magnetic susceptibility. So writing as magnetic susceptibility, you write as magnetic susceptibility. This is Xi we can call magnetic susceptibility. Sir, how we can define this? So the definition is very important because it is there in our material as 2 marks is given. What is magnetic susceptibility? Simple it is. Susceptibility SUSCEPTIBILITY. Xi it is defined as the ratio of. It is the ratio of intensity of magnetization to intensity of magnetizing force or magnetizing field. Xi is defined as the ratio of intensity of magnetization to intensity of magnetizing field. So it's nothing but a susceptibility. Of course, these susceptibilities are very important, and you remember it is because I is the unit is ampere per meter and H also ampere per unit, so that it is no units. You say unit is there is no unit. And here dimensional formula also there is no dimensional formula because I by H, no, I and H are same units and same dimension, so that it is maybe cancelled, ampere per meter and ampere per meter. So that it is maybe cancelled, we can say Xi is no units and no dimensional formula. And here this Xi is actually depends. It is, suppose I want to say one more. Here we have like a paramagnetic materials, diamagnetic materials. I think everyone know this. And one more is diamagnetic, ferromagnetic materials. Related to this susceptibility, we should know this all. I will tell you one. There is a one question is there in our material. I will show you that. So better you read everyone that question. It's the page number. Open everyone the page number. See 239 page number, which was given in the year of May 2015. So we compare the materials of para, dia and ferromagnetic substances. See, I'll explain you para, ferro, diamagnetic materials in the next class. Before that, I'll tell you, first you read this question also, then I'll explain. Here, susceptibility. What is a susceptibility, sir? That is Xi is nothing but it is the ratio of I by H. Here I want to say this susceptibility, suppose if I take a paramagnetic materials. Sir, what is paramagnetic material? See, the paramagnetic materials are nothing but it is suspended in the uniform magnetic field, therefore it is attracted with the magnetic field, feebly attracted, weakly, we can call weak. It is to be attracted in the direction, but it is to be feebly attracted. For this case, the substance's Xi value will be, for paramagnetic substances, Xi is inversely proportional to absolute scale of temperature. Capital T is the absolute scale of temperature. Everyone remember, it is to be absolute scale of temperature in case of a paramagnetic substances. And here, this paramagnetic substances, Xi is very small. See, this value is very small. And it is to be positive. It is to be positive for paramagnetic materials. Xi is inversely proportional to absolute scale of temperature. Xi value is very small and it is positive. This is there in the comparison between the para, dia and ferromagnetic substances. That's what you read that question. It is about a para. And come to the point is, I want to say another one is there, that is about a diamagnetic substances. See, for diamagnetic substances, actually this one is susceptibility is small and negative, independent of temperature. See, dia I am telling, that is Xi is independent on temperature. It is independent on capital T. And it is very small, and it is, so the Xi value will be, it is to be negative. This value will be negative. This is the very important comparison. The comparison between these para, dia and one more is a ferromagnetic substances. Sir, if I go for the ferromagnetic substances, it is very high. It is very high. See, remember, ferro, you say ferromagnetic, Xi is a very high. And again it is a Xi value will be, we can say it is a positive. Clear? And here, for this ferromagnetic substances, see, I want to say ferromagnetic substances, which is actually, we can say the substance is strongly attracted with the magnets. Strongly attracted with the magnets. Ferromagnetic substances, which is to be attracted strongly with the uniform and as well as a non-uniform magnetic fields also. You remember, it is very important. That's what we can say. Xi value is positive and it is large. X is very, Xi is very greater than 1 year. We can write like this. Xi is very greater than 1 year. And in case of this, it is minus, which on diamagnetic substances, we can say -1 less than or equal to xi it is, and less than equal to 0. Whereas in this case 0, less than xi, and less than 1. Like this, these are the comparison related to the xi of para, dia and ferro. See once again, para for xi is inversely proportional to absolute scale of temperature. It is depends, and here xi is very small as well as it is positive. This xi value is lies 0 less than, xi less than 1. Magnetic susceptibility, we can call magnetic susceptibility. And diamagnetic substances, xi is independent on absolute scale of temperature. Absolute scale of temperature, and it is very small, and this value is negative. Dia in the sense is the substances which does not attracted with the uniform magnetic field. It is not in the if it is in the uniform magnetic field, therefore that substances does not possess any magnetic or magnetic force. That's what we can call dia. And it is very small, and xi is negative, and -1 less than or equal to xi less than or equal to 0. Come to the point is ferromagnetic, it is a very high. Of course, it is also depend on temperature, and here it is xi is positive, and xi value is very greater than 1, which is very greater than 1. So like it is about a magnetic susceptibility. Xi is the ratio of intensity of magnetization to intensity of magnetizing force. So it has no units because both the units are same. The units are to be cancelled, and no dimensional formula. Of course, the dimensional formula also will be cancelled. So like it is about a what it is about related to the intensity of I mean to say xi relation, and here related to the susceptibility. And everyone, you go through this tabular form, and if any doubt is there, suppose you read this, of course you will get the everything is possible, because the substances which is placed paramagnetic material, you look at the substance which is placed in the uniform magnetic field, therefore the substance is allowing a magnetic lines. If you take a dia, the substance does not allows. You take a duster or you take a wood, the wood does not allows the magnetic lines of forces, of course. Like you go for the ferromagnetic substances, yes, the ferromagnetic substance also, it is feebly attracted, or the lines of forces strongly flows. Under a uniform magnetic field, these substances comes to rest in the direction of a magnetic field. Which one? Para. Ferro also come in the same direction, comes to rest in the direction of applied field. Whereas in case of a diamagnetic, that comes to perpendicular to the direction of applied magnetic field. Dia will come, it is in the direction opposite to the applied, or direction it is to be perpendicular in case of a dia. And here these are weak magnetic field areas to the strong magnetic field. See this move, this para can move from weak area to strong area, whereas this dia can move weaker part field to non-uniform magnetic field, and this move from weaker to stronger part of magnetic field in non-uniform. This is all in non-uniform. So the net dipole moment of a paramagnetic atoms is 0, and this one is dipole, net dipole moment is 0, dia also, and ferro also dipole moments, it is possess the dipole moment. Ferro is possess the dipole moment, whereas dia and para cannot possess the dipole moment. Of course, the xi value is over. And relative permittivity also, you look at examples of dia is para is aluminum, calcium, magnesium. Dia is nothing but we can say copper, bismuth, diamond, and ferro is nothing but iron, cobalt, nickel, and etc. So like this question, everyone refer from page number 239. Compare the properties of para, dia, and ferromagnetic substances. So this is about a what related to the comparison between the ferro, para, and diamagnetic materials, and you go through this because this question also important, which was given in the 2015 May, right? Like it is about a, I mean to say, this is about a today's class, and we'll see in the next class with continuation. We have the relations of the magnetism only. I'll continue with same topic in the next class. Thank you very much. We'll see in the next class.